at the O2 Arena in London earlier today with Clarissa Shields narrowly defeating Savannah Marshall in the headlining bout of that one, a fight that was maybe a little bit closer than people were expecting going into it. And then Alicia Baumgardner outpointing Michaela Mayer in a split decision victory on the co-feature. A fantastic day for women's boxing overall. Now we've got a good one here in round number 2 between Ramadan and Johnson. A little blood from the nose of Chernica Johnson, and you see Ramadan trying to pounce on it.
Yeah, you see the redness on the face of Ramadan. You see the blood on the nose of Johnson. These women are making contact.
Big cut over the left eye of Chernica Johnson. That is a nasty cut on the forehead, Chris.
Bad place, too. Above the eye. A cut that high on the head is rarely going to come from a punch, so I would assume that's a headbutt.
Well, we'll see if the cleanup crew or the cut man in Chernica Johnson's corner.
Outside the ring, please.
And now the doctors are going to look at her. She's got blood from the nose. She's got gauze in the left nostril. Now the ringside physician looking at, oh, goodness.
Yeah, that's going right in the eye. Very, very dangerous place for that cut.
They're not. I don't know if they're going to let her continue, Chris. You hear the referee asking the doctor if he wants to test it. We'll see how long the test lasts. So an accidental clash of heads in round number 2. The Vaseline has fallen completely out of the gash. Now the blood is all over Susie Ramadan, who looks disgusted.
Yeah, but I think she got a little bit in her mouth, and she made note of that.
Round number 3. I don't know if you caught it, Chris, but it sounded like the ringside physician wanted to stop the fight, and the referee asked, "Do you want to give it a test? Do you want to?" And the physician took a long look and thought about it hard before allowing this third round to begin. And not even halfway through the third round, and the blood continues to pour out of the forehead of Chernica Johnson. The wide-eyed glare of Chernica Johnson, just trying to find some visibility. For the IBF junior featherweight title that Johnson has in her first defense of the belt against the former champion Ramadan. A good overhand right by Ramadan, targeting that forehead and that gap.
She knows that the clock is ticking on that cut, and she needs to put some rounds in the bank.
Ramadan, you heard, and a no knockdown push. And a push from Johnson there, and Ramadan pops right back up. Good combination from Chernica Johnson.
You want to move towards that eye, because if there's any kind of eyesight hindrance, you want to move that way. You want to try and land that punch that she might not be able to see. What the cut man is doing is they're putting the adrenaline in the cut and then covering it with the Vaseline to make almost like a liquid bandage. So let that adrenaline.
Knockdown scored for Chernica Johnson despite the adversity here in round number 4. Round number 4, we move to the 5th.
Beautiful combination there from Johnson. I like the adjustment Johnson's made. She's shortened up her punches. She's punching from that high guard, and she's answering in combination.
And changing her levels. Good mobility, good movement for the champion, Chernica Johnson.
Yeah, it seemed like those first 2 rounds she was a little stiff.
And you mentioned it there early in that third round, Chris, but probably a good point. Johnson almost forced her to get more aggressive than she wanted to be because she needed to bank the rounds.
Absolutely, yeah. She got very dialed in after that third round.
After the clash of heads in the second, Johnson has regrouped. She had the knockdown in the 4th, and she has been in control here in her first title defense. And Johnson has looked really good after a slow start in the first round and a half.
They've done a great job getting that medicine in there and stopping that bleeding.
Good counter right from Johnson, comes back with the jab. Not so much of a moving target as she was in the first couple rounds. Ramadan's 3rd fight since 2018, but it is her 2nd fight in just 2.5 months.
Ramadan's obviously the smaller of the 2. I think it would be good to bang on that body a little bit.
2-inch height advantage for Chernica Johnson over the 43-year-old Susie Ramadan. You see Ramadan every time there's a clinch looking over at the referee, a bit sarcastically. not happy with the warnings that she has gotten throughout this fight.
Oh, good counter over the top from Johnson. She's getting tired and she's getting frustrated. She's not able to land like she was earlier.
Minutes ago here in round number 7 for Tronika Johnson's IBF Junior Featherweight World Championship. Good action here as you see the mobility, the upper body movement that Chris Algieri talked about earlier from Tronika Johnson, and catches Ramadan with the left as she was going away.
That's been a common interaction between these two, is that Johnson will pull back from one of those swinging wide shots and come back with her own hard, solid jab.
Yeah, Johnson has looked every bit the defending champion here in her first defense.
Oh, another beautiful overhand right, timed perfectly.
Going back to the well once again with that overhand right. Round number 8 for a scheduled 10. The fight following this one will be a fight for the vacant WBO International Junior Bantamweight title between Norberto Jimenez and local hero Andrew Maloney. Both Andrew and his twin brother Jason fighting on tonight's card as the two female fighters go tumbling to the mat.
Seeing another adjustment here from Johnson. She came out firing that left jab. She probably threw 10 or 11 jabs in that first minute of this round. Oh, beautiful right hand over the top.
Over the top right hand has landed consistently in the middle to late rounds here for Tronika Johnson.
Johnson's having a great round. She just needs to keep it simple. Like you said, she's staying in the center of the ring. She's the bigger, stronger of the two.
Second point deduction for Susie Ramadan, this time for not listening to the referee's instructions and not stopping at his command. She was warned for that earlier in the fight, so now she's been deducted a point for punching in the back of the head, and now a point deduction for not obeying the command of the referee.
Ramadan swing, and she comes back with that hard left jab, and then back to Ramadan land a right hand as well.
So now Ramadan knows, Chris, she's going to need a knockout to win this fight, given the points that she has lost on the card. 2-point deductions and a knockdown against her. The problem is, Chris, is I've seen nothing in terms of power punches from Ramadan that indicates she's got that in her to catch Johnson and put her on the mat.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we've been saying all night, you know, Johnson is the stronger of the two. She's got more power. She seems bigger, definitely taller.
And I'll say this too, Chris, is that Johnson has seemed okay and comfortable fighting at a lot of different distances in this fight.
Yeah, she's shown a lot of her game tonight. I'm very impressed.
Went down to the body with the right hand and then caught Ramadan on the chin with the left hook.
Just missed with that left hook. Needs to be a little bit lower, but it was beautifully timed and placed.
16th pro fight for the 27-year-old Tronika Johnson. Ramadan lands a power punch with the left hand as round number 9 is coming to a close. 1:45 to go here in this title fight, kicking off our coverage here in Melbourne, Australia.
Good left hand shot from Ramadan in there. Turned the head of Johnson for a moment.
Good exchange in the middle of the ring as Johnson lands with the overhand left hand this time. Yeah, kudos to the referee and the ringside doctor and the cut man allowing this fight to go on. That cut on the forehead of Johnson looked really bad. Accidental clash of heads in the second round. Third round was a bloody mess. But really, since then, it's been in control, and Johnson has fought through it and put on a brilliant performance here against Ramadan. Ramadan catches Johnson on the inside. All Johnson needs to do is weather the storm here for the final 30 seconds. She scored a knockdown in the 4th. Ramadan was deducted 2 points. 1 for hitting in the back of the head, 1 for not listening to the referee's command.
Nice, good combination there. That 1-2-1 from Johnson has been very effective.
Good strong finish from both fighters, and what a way to kick off our broadcast.
Action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Lesznik Jankowiak scores the competition 97-90. Tony Moretta 96-92. And Brett Manson 96-91 for your winner, and still the IBF Female Junior Featherweight World Champion, Sugar Neeks Johnson!